with or without the implementation grant, we will continue to do this. Of course, in order to do this, we need your participation. Now, what that means, I really don't know. And I think that the next time when we meet, we'll put together a little time in terms of your interest as well as your CSA interest in this. So we'll talk about this a little further next time. Now, with that in mind, I just, first of all, I want to make a sincere apology that I abruptly have to postpone our June meeting, and then we have to move it into July because of a family reason. My father is ill, so I was called back to Hong Kong and make some family decisions and so forth, because I am the male child of the family, even though my stepmom has, for the last 3 years, she has really done a wonderful, I call it sainthood work in terms of supporting my father. But ultimately, I guess, at least for my family culture, the male child make those final decisions what needs to be done, and I needed to go back. So I apologize for the interruption, but I'm glad that we're back here in full force, and I think it just speaks to your level of interest and commitment in terms of what we do. In terms of a little bit of kind of update from our last full meeting, we have a collage of pictures of all wonderful people here that you are part of the community of practice. And then many of you also remember that Oma has gone through an exercise with us, an icebreaker, but I think it's more than just an icebreaker. It's really an opportunity for a small group and then also as a larger group to talk about, who I am and who I am not. Issues of stereotypes, issues of how to connect, and interpersonal kind of dynamics and interactions. So I just want to say that that's piece as well as the visual collage, we'll put it together for our final format. This is continuing to be evolving, and your input will be a great idea. So maybe this one plus a few other things will be our logo of community of practice to achieve cultural and linguistic competence organizations. Then maybe it will last us for a few more years. How are we going to move this forward? So just give you a sense of how this thing coming together. There will be a certificate of attendance from the last time as well as for today, and of course the next one available once you complete your evaluation at the end of the day. We also have Nick and Kim over there. They have been doing the whole kind of social media marketing piece, as you have signed your release to allow us to have to check what's happening throughout the day. And Bandara Oma specifically have requested a not DVD, I'm still old age, has requested something about using the day so that you can use for internal use. So I heard that DVD is not possible because it takes too much memory space and so forth. So our plan is to put this on a YouTube site, right? And so that any one of you, the CSAs, can actually go into the YouTube site, and it's going to be uncut and unedited, except we put them in chapters, so that you can then utilize that for your own internal use. So no DVDs. I was thinking, oh yeah, just give everyone a DVD. I guess that's not possible. So say one chapter takes a lot of money.
It would cost a lot of money too.
It would cost a lot of money. Well, that's good. That's that. That's an easy answer. It costs a lot of money, but you will have access to it, because I think that we had some wonderful discussion as well as sharing of personal experience. And let me just quickly go back what we did last time. The ground rules. Is Jessica here? Is it here? Yeah, this is what Jessica put together. Would you like to actually just say, we did not prepare this, as I said, this is go with the flow. If you want to just mention this, would I put you on the spot? Okay. That's what we had.
Okay, so these are the ground rules that we discussed during the last session as we're here, and I'm assuming they apply to this session. It was important that we start on time and end on time to respect everybody's time. Everyone please silence their cell phones. Everyone is welcome to participate. Different opinions are welcome as we talk about cultural competence. And we know we're going to have a difference of opinions sometimes, or just more so education. Respect and value that everyone is different and will think differently about things. No shame, no blame. Listen to each other, be polite, and if you disagree about someone, address in a respectful manner, and please limit side conversations.
Okay, thank you. So if we can just carry on using, the same ground rules. One of the areas that we really did not touch on, and really is not the intention of this specific community practice, is to talk about the whole issues of racism, prejudice, and so forth. These are very sensitive issues, and as a matter of fact, many of you know that you can actually attend a whole sessions or multiple sessions just talking about undoing racism and so forth. Part of this, the ground rules, is a little bit of protective to say that this is a safe place for you. If you want to mention about it, if you want to talk about it, if you don't want to talk about it, it is okay. It is in great honor and respect of your participation, specifically, in this area of cultural and linguistic competence. Just want to quickly summarize. We did the circles of my multicultural self last time. And then we have the sharing of our experience from a family perspective. That's from a senior family partner her name is Malika, right? Malika from Children's Services of Roxbury. Okay. Hi, Malika, from Children's Services of Roxbury. And then we later on have a sharing of experience, family, and young adult perspective together, and that's from the actually mother and daughter. What are the names? I forgot. Annabelle? Is that yes. Annabelle and okay. But they share with us their personal experience, and I was actually watching the dynamics in terms of how mother and daughter interact very publicly, and I think again we capture that with the video. The other thing I want to mention that Tut, with a very nice huge camera, is going to continue to kind of visually record this session. As I said, there will be a collage of something to put together that really identify we as a community of practice in Massachusetts. And then I think we started with the domains as part of the evaluation. As a matter of fact, you asked that, are you familiar with this cultural linguistic competence, domains, and language? And I'm not going to go into details about that today, even though maybe our focus is not specifically on one, or specifically focused on one or two of the domains, but in your report, in your CSA report, might touch on some aspect of these domains, and maybe I can highlight that for the group when that comes up. And then, we talk about developing an action agenda and then an action team. Now, if you all remember that after lunch, last time in the afternoon, each of the CSA talked about, by listening to what's happening in the morning, by understanding in terms of the common language of the domains, this is what we are exploring. This is what we're thinking for that afternoon. Each of the group presented that. So we're going to follow up with you today in terms of give everyone an opportunity to discuss a little bit more of those agenda. Now things might change after you went back to your organization for the past 7 weeks or so. And that's okay, because nothing is very definitive until I think there's a commitment from you as the champions of your organizations, until you can somehow begin to recruit others in your organizations to create this sea change. And the sea change can be very little, but in the long run, when we look back at the sea change, it's actually quite tremendous for your organizations. Now, some of you already have done this. Every organization is really at a very different level and experience and so forth. And this is why we're here. This is the community of practice that we share with each other, our experience. We share with each other our information, maybe even our strategy. Say, hey, that worked for us. We will share that with you. Which then comes to a kind of a very quick summary. This community of practice, in many ways, thanks to John right there, drinking coffee. That's the gentleman here. He and I really want to kind of evaluate not only the content, of the community of practice, but also the process. And I just want to give you a field of, particularly in terms of the quick content and then the process itself. About 70% here of you folks came actually with knowledge about the domains on cultural linguistic competence for organizations. That's great, that you already have some kind of a foundation to do that. So we're not starting from the scratch, because that will be really the driver of the community practice. You're coming here, you already have done some work, or you are knowledgeable. The process, though, I want to point out two things. It's really very nice to see, is that when we ask the question that, do you feel belong to this community of practice? Many of you answer yes, you're beginning to feel belong. And that's great. This is just one time we're meeting together. You're beginning to have a sense of saying, hey, I like to be with this group of people. They seem to be nice, right? Look around each other, look next to you or behind you, in front of you. Yeah, they seem to be nice people. I don't think that's the issue. The issue is that you are sharing, some of your passion towards how do you improve care for multicultural population. So you feel belong. You feel belong that this community practice has a common objective. And then the other thing is that many of you also said that you really feel that when you share your experience, others listen. And that's the feature of a community practice. No one say, oh, geez, gosh, I have done that. Or, yeah, that's probably not the right approach. You listen. You listen and you comment. And you provide maybe further input. That is the essence in the process of a community practice. So we continue to keep track of that. So today's evaluation, you would see that we are asking you the similar questions again and again and again. But we want to see what's the curve looks like about this group. That's why it's so important for you now coming back. Thank you for your participation for the first time. Coming back.